Well, g'day Plantifyers, Jess here, and today I am going to show you how I have refurbished a whole bed ready for a new season of planting. We've taken a very overgrown bed that's been covered with sweet potato and other things during the summer where I've just kind of let everything go, and we have refurbished it and replanted it, and we're going to go through the process of how I've done that in today's video. So we're going to go from something that looks like this to something that now looks like this, and in a few months is going to look absolutely fantastic and provide me with tons of food, which is what we're all about. So let's get started. So we've got a whole bunch of nasturtiums that have grown from the previous nasturtium plant that was here. We've got the lemon sherbet coleus, which has just gone off after all the rain recently. The sweet potato is pretty much trying to escape from the garden and take over the entire place, as you can see here. Of course, we have this one of our eggplants that's lurking in here, and I believe, oh, there's a nice one, a nice couple of eggplants actually that are pretty much ready for harvest. So I will harvest those, and then I'll probably cut this plant back so that it's kind of goes into a bit of retirement. I mean, it's still flowering and it's mid-March now. It's just the plant that keeps on giving. Oh yes, there was also some fennel in here that never really got a chance to actually bulb out because it kind of got completely overtaken by a sweet potato that is everywhere. Okay, so that's a few minutes worth of pulling out sweet potato vines, whole wheelbarrow's worth, and then we've made some space. So now I'm going to go through and dig this up a little bit and see if there are actually any sweet potatoes lurking around underneath any of this soil here. And I also have a few eggplants to harvest. I think this one, I don't know if it's broken off or not, but it'll come off now, and I'll add it to my harvest basket. So eggplant are perennial in our climate, and so I've cut this one right back low and taken a lot of the branches off this one. I've left some of these big branches on here just to give us a few more because there's some more coming on, but I probably will cut this back in the next month or two. This is far from our only eggplant. We have one over there, one over there, one out there, another one down here. And over here we have a couple of different variety, which is, oh hello, still growing nicely even though we're into autumn now. So we are not short of eggplant, which is why I'm happy to be brutal at cutting this one back so that we have more light and space for other things in this bed. Okay, so now it is time to get the fork in here and see if there are actually any sweet potatoes in this bed. Let's get those on first. Found one. worm there. Got another one. Stand on that to get it off. Well, it wasn't much of a haul, but honestly I was expecting that because, like I said, I'd already taken a few big ones out not long ago. Plus, I didn't plant this as lots of separate slips. I basically planted 2 slips and then they just grew and took over. Now, if I'd left this for another year, if I just cut it back, fertilized it, left it for another year, that would have been enough time for all of those vines to develop more of these roots, because it would have actually gone down in multiple places and had the time to develop them. But because it didn't, this is all I ended up with. Unlike my main sweet potato patch, which I will be doing a video on, where I have got absolute buckets of Beauregard sweet potatoes. So this is a different variety. It also perhaps has a different growing habit, but the Beauregards I have, they have just gone off and they are everywhere. Okay, now it's time to cut back this lemon sherbet coleus right back down because it will come back. It's incredibly hardy. Look for my secateurs. They're in my pocket all along. All right, let's do this. They're real violent here. Cutting back to lower nodes. Oh, I wish you could smell this. It smells amazing. So delicious. I really need to learn what to use this for. If you have any ideas or suggestions as to what to use lemon sherbet coleus for, please leave them in the comments. At the moment I just smell it and then put it in the compost. And we're done. This will come back very happily. It looks very violent, but it's not a problem. Wheelbarrow is looking a little bit overfull at the moment. That's going to make a nice addition to the compost pile. Now this one here is a pepino. I did not have any luck with this year. I got lots of fruit, but it all rotted before we could eat it. I don't think it's really meant for our subtropical climate. Like, it grows fine, but the fruit just did not like it. I'm not sure. I think I'll cut this back. I really kind of want to actually rehome this, but I think I'll leave that for another day. So I'm going to chop this right back and then we can rehome it later. And that's pretty much cleared out, ready to be refertilized. I will probably pull out a little bit of that. I'll probably leave a few of those in to grow, but most of them will come out. So it's looking good. I can see a garden bed once again. So I have a bunch of seedlings to go in here that'll go in this week, but I want to obviously top up the nutrients. I'm going to put some worm castings on it. We don't have a lot of good compost right now, so worm castings it is. I'm also going to add some rock minerals and some pelletized organic fertilizer, which I haven't got yet. I'm getting later in the week, so I will do that when I have that stuff. Now you know why I'm wearing this outfit today. This was a well thought out plan because I knew I would be getting worm poop all over me. Now, despite the fact that I don't have the other fertilizers. They're things that can go on top of mulch and work their way through. So we all know Mother Nature does not like to be naked. So I'm going to go get some straw bale mulch and cover this up now and water it in well. But first we need to drop this off at the compost heap. Now we all know sweet potato likes to grow, so I'm actually going to cover this with a layer of sugarcane mulch in the hope that I will cover it up enough that this will not grow but rot down. Nick is interfering. Okay, it's a few days later and I have now bought the fertilizer I need to finish off getting this bed ready for planting. And I've got two different things that I'm going to be doing with this bed. I'm going to be adding some rock minerals and spreading those around, and they will kind of immediately sink down because they're in a powder form, and spread them throughout the bed, and this will give the plants lots of lovely nutrients like calcium, potassium, phosphorus, all those good things, and many other micronutrients as well. And then secondly, I have bought some organic pelletized fertilizer. So I'm going to spread that all throughout this bed, and then I'm going to plant it out because I have a bunch of seedlings ready to go into here. I'm going to be planting tomatoes, cucumbers, I've got some lettuce. I've got numerous bits and pieces that I'm going to put in here. I'm not going to go through them all in detail, but if you want to know exactly what I'm planting in here, go have a look at what I'm growing in March, my what I'm growing in March video, which is on my channel, and I've kind of gone through what I've planted in this bed in more detail in that video. So let's get this stuff into the bed today. So these are the fertilizers I'm putting in today. First of all, the Garden Mate Rock Minerals by Earth Life. And this one is really great for improving the soil, of course, as well as feeding things. So here's what's in it, if you're curious. See the quantities of everything. They have a whole bunch of other products as well. And then this is the pelletized fertilizer that I'm going to put in, which will break down slowly. It's got blood and bone in it, potash, worm castings, more rock minerals, fish meal, seaweed, all of the good things, poultry manure, and there's the analysis as well. And of course they always have instructions about how much to put in there, so that's what I'm going to follow. So I just used my kitchen scales to measure out the rock minerals, and I worked out that about that much is 300 grams, which is what we want. So this big bed is around 3.6 meters squared, so I'm going to use 3.5 cups of this. My smaller ones off to the side here are 2.1, so I'll use 2 cups. And then I've got some like 1 meter squared beds as well. So I'm going to do all of the beds in here today, but let's get this one going. By the way, I would normally do this before I added the mulch to the bed. so that the minerals and the fertilizer were under the mulch, but because I had to leave this a few days between cleaning it out and fertilizing it, I didn't want to leave it there. That's why I mulched it first, and honestly this stuff will just wash through the mulch into the soil anyway, so I'm not super concerned about it, because as the mulch breaks down, it also of course adds organic matter to the soil. So normally I do it that way, but I don't think it's going to make a great deal of difference. Okay, let's add the pellet fertilizer next, and then we'll water it all in. Okay, time for the pellet fertilizer. Now, pro tip for this, I always store it in one of these buckets with a screw top lid to keep it dry. After learning that the hard way, when I had a whole bag of it and it was in my potting shed, which has a leak in the roof, and it got wet and it spoiled. So that was a waste of money and nutrients. I mean, I chucked it all in the compost heap, let's be honest, so we kept the nutrients. But this is a great way to store pellet fertilizer, because you want to keep it nice and dry, especially if you live in a humid climate like I do. So this is 3 cups per square meter, or 6 handfuls. So let's get started. 1, 2, 7, 8, 19, 20, and let's go with 21 to finish it off. Okay, awesome, let's water it in. So of course you want to make sure, if you've got fertilizer or rock minerals on the plants, that you wash it off the leaves. Oh, such a delightful aroma. So good for the plants. And there we have it, a fully refurbished garden bed ready for the next lot of planting. If you would like to see more of my subtropical polyculture garden and property, please make sure to subscribe and check out the rest of the videos on my channel. And remember, if you want to see what I end up planting in this bed, go and watch my What I'm Growing in March video. I've got it in there. See you next time. Bye for now.